Hey, everybody, it's Walt Blackman.
And Dave Marshall.
And we are here for another episode of America First Brothers. And we are so glad to be back doing what we typically do so well, and that's clown people. All right. Hello, this is Walt Blackman, and we are here on America First Brothers. Want me to do that?
Hey, have you guys missed us?
You know,
I want to apologize for Walt. We would have been here and recording, but he's so important, and we couldn't make it. And honestly, it's been a long campaign.
Crazy.
On the road almost every day, traveling over the largest legislative district in the United States and the largest congressional district in the United States. So we apologize for dropping the recording for a period of time, but we are back, and we have 8 days before the election.
Eight days. You got 8 days. There's no overtime. There's no flipping a coin. It's 8 days. And we're going to be talking about, we're going to go in depth about the election day, what you do, where you go vote, and ballots. And Dave and I just actually found where you can track your ballots, and we got some interesting information on that. Before we get going, I just want to clarify some things. In my election, Dave, I've been getting a lot of bad press from people that are jealous. And so I'm going to just make this clear and known. There's everything that these folks have sent out against me or about me is a lie. And they are doing that because I am winning. Now, I'm just going to be straight up and tell you who's sending it out. The guy at the Trump store and Sholo. All right? If you're watching this, stop being a punk, because that's what you are. All right? I shouldn't have said that, huh?
Can't take it back now, brother.
Can't take it back. No, seriously, though. This guy's been hounding me for years, harassing us, sending us letters. And he sent out this letter saying that I was a criminal, that the police want me because I have, he's saying I have a warrant out for my arrest, bad checks, repossession, all kind of stuff. So I just want to lay it out really quickly. First of all, I have an active security clearance, secret security clearance. I retired in 2016, and that security clearance is still active. You cannot have a warrant out for your arrest or have been a criminal with a secret security clearance. That's the first thing. Second thing, when I did retire, I went to work for the DOD, running their Department of Defense and the training side of the Department of the Army, their SHARP program, which is the Prevention of Sexual Harassment Response Program. And that program is a very sensitive program because it deals with victims of sexual assault, sexual harassment, and you need clearance to be able to do that. You have to you do a background check, and if you fail the background check, you can't get into that. So not only did I pass the background check, my clearance was extended past the 10 years, and I now have a 15-year secret clearance for that because of that job position. That means if I applied for another DOD job, what requires a secret clearance, then I can get it. The arrest warrants that
Hang
this.
on a second.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a third thing too.
What's the third thing?
Talk about your fostering.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We recently fostered kids in our home. And if you look on the website and the regulations and the statutes for foster parents qualifications, you cannot have a criminal record and you cannot be actively searched for on a warrant. So I don't know where I know where he got it from. They got it from their lies that they typically do. When we're talking about the bad check, when I was in Kosovo, a check was written off my name and my account. It was proven to be a fraudulent check, and it was dismissed because I was in Kosovo and the check was written in Killeen, Texas. So there was a fraudulent case. You can easily go to the website and it says check dismissed. So that's the second thing. The third thing, repo. I've never had a car repoed in my life, and I never had an F-150. The only truck I've ever had is this Dodge out here that I've been driving, and I don't know where this F-150 is because I've never had one of those.
Why do you keep looking at me when you say F-150? Because I drive one?
Because he drives an F-150. Understand what I'm saying? No, what they did was there's a guy named Walter E. Blackman, and what they did is they clearly saw that it was not my file. They merged his stuff into my name, into my file, and all they did is change the middle name, and it pops out. It looks like Walt Blackman. This is work from the guy at the Trump store in Sholo, the campaign that's been running against me. I'm not going to dignify and say that campaign's name, but you all know it. And people who just don't like me. They've sent letters out to every precinct member. They even sent these letters to my sons, that I was a criminal. Then they took it a step further. They had a what do you call those? A mailer that went out, and they took a picture of me and made it look like it was a, what do you call that when you book
mugshot?
A mugshot. A mugshot. So my question is, why are you doing this? If you can't win, you got to do this. Why do you think you deserve to be in office and you are going to lie about these things? Do you think that people should trust you if you're going to lie with my opponents doing these things? So it's very unfortunate that they have done these things, and we just made it a vow out of our campaign team not to go negative because this is God is leading us through this, and we don't need to go negative. So if you got one of those letters, if you've been probably hearing things on the radio, you're getting things in the mail, I will tell you it is all straight lies. And then just real quickly when I know when you guys were in the Air Force, you had an Air Force creed, and everybody has something like that. In the Army, we have an Army creed, and it's based off of leadership. And in leadership, it spells out leadership. And in that leadership quote, it says there's an I in there and for integrity. Yeah. And my integrity has been questioned because of the lies that went out. I have no reason to lie about my background. You can easily check my background if you are looking at the right person and you don't have any malintent to do it. My integrity is something that I hold dear because my integrity is all I have in this cesspool politics. That's all I have is my integrity and my good name. And these people tried to smear me. I've tried to do all sorts of things, and it is simply because they are losing this race. And I call them minions of Satan. So, yeah, I went there. I went there. I went there, got a T-shirt, and came back. Minions of Satan.
Did you pay for that T-shirt?
Yeah. Well, they'll probably say, I stole the T-shirt. And pretty soon I joke with Dave about this. Pretty soon they're gonna be saying I'm the third shooter on the grassy knoll. I have my picture up there, Walt Blackman.
Well, it's. I've been on a campaign trail for a year and a half. Walt's been in session all the way up to June.
Yeah.
June 30th.
Yeah.
And so, so now he's in overdrive. And for the past year and a half, it's been just a wonderful time going to people's homes and being invited to their homes and a lot of meet and greets and forums and getting to meet people all around LD7. I've noticed in the last month, as you got closer to the primaries, how ugly politics really becomes.
Wow, yeah.
And it's not just Walt being attacked. There's others that are being attacked, and they're, just blatant lies, slanderous, and, and they say there's nothing you can do about it.
Wow.
And one of the things that I know for myself is that Walt's a classy guy. Walt did not attack back. He has not mudslinged back. He's leaving it in God's hands.
And that's where it should be.
And that's class. And this is a man with integrity. And, and I've been attacked, but not as much as he has. Not as much as he has. And I don't worry about the attacks because God, God's my defender. So I don't worry about people bashing me, talking about me. And, and I just stay the course. We're going to make it to August 2nd. And Lord willing, we're going to be victorious.
Yep.
And then you're going to have new blood in the Capitol, new blood in the Capitol and in D.C. with Walt Blackman as our new congressman.
Yeah.
Because polls have come out and said that he is the only candidate that can beat Tom O'Halloran.
Yeah.
Everybody else, you can look these polls up too. Everybody else don't have a chance.
No, they don't. You can go look these polls up, and thanks for the compliment. And it's a common theme though in the Republican Party that we eat our own.
Yeah.
And then when we're in the general, then we get beat up. For example, in the Senate race, Mark Kelly has raised $52 million. That's just insane. $52 million. He's outraised every senatorial candidate in Arizona combined.
Wow. Yeah,
he's outraised them. The deal is our Senate candidates that are running, Jim Lehman, Blake Masters, General McGuire. I can't think. I can't think of the other ones. I'm sorry if you're out there watching. You're one of the other ones. They are so busy trying to defend themselves against the attack ads from other Republicans that they can't. Their cash on hand dwindles daily because they are trying to defend themselves. And then when they get into the general, they don't have any money, and they don't have any money against this $52 million. That's just insane what we do as a party.
You know, it's too bad, and I know I'll probably get hate mail on this. It's too bad that when you run in the state of Arizona, that you should fundraise in the state of Arizona.
Yeah,
that it is the people of the state that elects you, and not Californians, not New Yorkers, not those from Washington, but those from within your state.
And you need to be transparent.
Yeah, transparency. Where's this money coming from?
Yeah, and the FCC is a place where you can go look and see what people have raised, where they've raised it from. However, that's not, there are loopholes. I mean, this is my first congressional run, and I thought I seen it. I didn't see nothing about campaigning until I got to this congressional race and saw how dirty people can really get and how dirty people are when they're talking about raising money.
Well, there's candidates out there, Republican candidates out there, and I'm sure you're aware of this, that are being funded by Democrats.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna go there again. I'm about to go there. I got to.
Let me hide myself here.
Go ahead now. This is coming from me, okay? There's a candidate running in LD7. You got Dave Marshall, and you got John Fillmore, and you got David Cook. All right, David Cook and Fillmore have been in the legislative body for the past 3 sessions, I believe, 3 or 4 sessions. And Dave Cook got $130,000 from a Democrat PAC. Why are you taking money from Democrats? That'd be my question. Why are you taking money from Democrats? So I don't like to just look at what something comes in the mail. If it's a mail, I rip it up and throw it away. But however, I go to the financial websites where these folks are listing their donations, and sure enough, it's a Democrat PAC that funded Dave Cook $130,000 for his election. And I think the question should be asked. I don't know if he's going to be getting out, if he's going to be talking to more people. I think the question should be asked, and it should be answered. Why are you receiving dollars from a Democrat PAC? I went there again.
Yeah, you did.
I went there.
However, there's others also.
Ooh, yeah. So first of all, this show is about straight, we just go right at it.
Well, and one of the things that's very important for us as voters, you need to know the people that you're voting for. You need to vet every single candidate.
Even us.
Yes.
Definitely. Even us.
I have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, I got an F-150.
And he lives in a mansion.
Yeah, and I live in a mansion. Yeah.
I've been in a mansion.
And mine ain't it.
And you can reach across the house.
Yeah.
Arm's length.
But you're right. People need to vet their candidates.
They do. And instead of just listening to the rhetoric, listening to what they're espousing, you need to check what they're talking about. You need to check their voting records. Mm-hmm. How are they voting? If you're espousing that you're this rock solid conservative, your record should reflect it.
Yeah, it should. Your record is your receipt.
Yeah.
It's your receipt. And I will tell you, there is a candidate running around talking about he did everything. I'm just saying.
Well, you can go to what?
azledge.gov.
azledge.gov and azfree.org.
Yeah.
And you can look up every candidate's record.
Yeah.
Now, I don't have a voting record because I have not been elected yet.
No, but he will have one pretty soon.
But you have to be very cautious. I've had people this weekend tell me, I voted for this person, I voted for this person, I voted for this person. And then they would ask me, what do you think about this person? I go, well, what do you know about him?
Yep.
And they said, well, I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. I go, you need to do your own research.
Exactly. That's like somebody in the house, when we're getting ready to vote on a bill, comes over to you and says, hey, what's in this bill? I've heard that. Woo! And you look at them like, what, man? What district are you in?
Well, you have a lot. I'm telling you, you're talking from the White House to the State House. You have a lot of Republicans that espouse how ultra conservative they are, but their records don't reflect it, and that's what we're trying to remove. We're trying to remove those moderates or those, I guess you can call them a Rhino, and replace them with strong, constitutional, conservative men and women.
Like Dave. I mean, you are a strong constitutionalist. I mean, you're law enforcement, a veteran, you're a preacher or a pastor, and I mean, you've done things for the community, you've helped the community, and you are a rock solid conservative. I mean, and this is a guy who wants to build a tent city at the border and send them back to Mexico from them staying in the tent city. And I've got no problem with that. I think that's a great idea. However, we got people out there that say that they're conservative. They really are not conservative. And then we get the people that say that, I call them the people from the peanut gallery, that think they know policy or they think they know the candidate, and they've gotten their information off of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, what have you, and they are judging candidates and they're judging legislators based on something they read on Facebook or a tweet.
Yeah. I tell you this, if you ever get a chance, go down to the gallery. The last time that my wife and I were down at the gallery, when they were voting on some integrity bills, we're watching we're watching representatives playing games on their cell phones and not even paying attention to what was going on.
Yeah.
There was one person only, and we have the video that was actually sitting there with the bill in hand and reading it, and that was Representative Walt Blackman.
Well, it's important that we do. Well, it's after I drew my F-150 truck. Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
After you drove it out of your mansion, the driveway of your mansion.
Yeah. So, but Dave's right. I mean, and I'm down there and I see it. We have people that are on their laptops playing games and they're doing something else, yada, yada, yada. Representatives aren't sent down there to play solitary on their computers or their laptops.
No.
You're down there to do a job. You're down there to understand and digest that piece of legislation that comes across your desk, because when it comes up on the board to vote, it better be the right one. And it better be the one that's going to help the district. It's a lot of responsibility in that. However, you're a pastor, so you already understand responsibility.
Yes.
Because you're already tending to a flock, and you're a man of God, a man of integrity, and that's the kind of people we need down there, not people who just play solitary and make up tall tales.
Yeah. And so it's very important, and I can't reiterate this, is that you need to know who you're voting for, what they truly stand for, and how they voted on certain things, how they vote on the border, how they vote on life, how they vote on integrity bills, or school choice.
Absolutely.
You need to know these things, because whatever they say, it may sound good, but you need to make sure what they're saying reflects how they voted.
You got to verify that. We've got some people that actually have said that they are pro-life, and they are conservatives and they are Republicans. And when I laid a bill down to see if people were really pro-life, there were some people that ran from that bill like it was Freddy Krueger going after them. So we need to make sure we got those folks. And here's another thing. This is a responsibility on voters. You have a voter, and then you have an informed voter.
Yes.
Okay? A voter... Okay, and I am not insulting anyone's intelligence, and I'm not trying to do that, but you have a voter that just goes to the ballot, deal and just votes down the line. Votes are down the line. You got those voters, and you got it. And then you have an informed voter, and those informed voters do their research. Now, I've seen during this election cycle that there have been more groups really getting involved in the election process and vetting candidates. However, when we set up a town hall where people can come and get all the information, and not a lot of people show up, and then we elect somebody or someone is elected that shouldn't even be in there, then whose fault is that? Yeah. Because we've been all over the district, and I mean, sometimes we've talked to 2 or 3 people, and we hope they go and talk to other people, but there's a line of responsibility that people need to meet.
I hope
to include us.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I hope that you realize right now, in this time in our history, this time in our life, that this is probably one of the most important elections in our lifetime.
Yes.
And if you're watching what is happening in the White House,
oh my goodness,
and how that is being trickled down to the states, you're talking about you have a tyrannical government who believes that the Constitution has no bearing at all any longer. And they believe that they can tell you what to do. They can, it's almost like
when to do it.
It's almost like Santa Claus in the White House. If we continue doling out checks to you, you're going to follow us and do whatever we tell you to do. And I've seen this.
He said Santa Claus.
And too many Americans easily gave up their liberties and their freedoms for checks.
To
stay at home.
Oh, yes.
And you didn't realize, many people didn't realize those checks were going to end.
Yeah, and they're going to end, and they're going to have to be paid for.
Yes.
So if there's somebody out there thinking that those checks came for free, please pick yourself up off the ground and dust yourself off, because them checks are not for free. Those checks have to be paid for by the American taxpayers. And we're going to start to get in that. And you likened the White House to Santa Claus. I actually liken them to Weekend at Bernie's. I mean, you ever see that cat, man? He walks when he goes to the...
Prop him up.
He does his thing. And then he walks away. Somebody, I don't know what it is, man. I mean, he's what, like 90 or something like that? Biden is 80, 90? Mr. Beard.
Almost 80. Almost 80.
How old is what's his name? Biden.
What's his name?
Yeah. That's a shame. Mr. Beard gonna look it up, see how old this guy is. He's too old for prisons. If you're too old to go to prison, you old. I don't think he's 79, man. I think he might.
Oh, he's 79.
He might be older than that. He might be. He probably was walking around when Christ was walking around. Christ look at him like, "Hey, whoa, dude, you kind of old, man. His what? Nancy Pelosi is 80. That's why she can barely talk."
It's either she can barely talk or
I think it's that.
I have to go deal with the people right now.
I got to go deal with them. I got to go back to my district. Boy. I tried to watch her the other day. I was like, ooh, it was just painful, man. It was just painful, especially when the numbers say that you're going to lose a house. That's like in advance, you're getting ready to lose your job. You know what I'm saying? That you already know the boss man is coming in, and they said, well, hey, you need to pack your stuff up. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
You walk into work and you got that feeling that you're going to get fired, and everybody looking at you when you walk in, and you still trying to deny it. It ain't looking at me. It ain't me. It better not be me.
As long as I don't make eye contact, I'm safe.
That's why she be looking all around with the camera, be asking her about. Wow, man. We went there. Let's talk about elections. So we got elections in 8 days.
8 days.
8 days. August 2nd is the primary election here in Arizona. We're going to be talking about where you can go to vote, what you got to do, and a little bit about early ballots. However, before we get started, Dave and I was kind of Dave asked about, Dave's already voted, and he did an early ballot.
Yes, I did.
You want to talk about that a little bit, and we'll talk about what we found.
Well, back in 2020 when I voted, I did an early ballot. I've been doing it for 23 years. And back in 2020 when I voted for Trump again, and my vote didn't show up. My ballot didn't show up.
Because you a black man.
Black man.
That's what I said.
That's you black man.
I went
you Walt Blackman.
I went there.
No, you black man.
No, you know what the Democrats did? They knew you was a black man, voted for Donald Trump. They snuck in at night, took your ballot out, and said, no, we can't have this. He needs to be back on the plantation. And they tried to get you back to the Democrat plantation. I know that's what happened.
Well,
I'm sorry.
They've been looking for me for 23 years because that's when I left the plantation.
They still looking for you. Where you at?
Well, anyway, my ballot didn't show up. My wife's ballot didn't show up. And Mark Ashley, one of the gentlemen, our assistant campaign manager, his didn't show up.
Wow.
So I had to re-register because they told me, although I had my registration card in hand, that I wasn't registered. I don't know how that works. It wasn't worth arguing over.
No, so you ain't registered.
So I re-registered.
Oh, my gosh.
On the 8th, I think it was the 8th or 9th of July, I received 2 ballots in the mail.
2?
2 ballots. And I still have the first one from my old registration card.
So what did you do with the ballots? I mean,
I turned in the new one.
The new one.
But I still have the old ballot in my house.
And then they say why you got 2 ballots?
I didn't even ask them.
You just threw it at them and left.
I thought about taking it to the paper.
You took it to the paper now because
they're saying this thing is fixed, and I got 2 ballots. How many more people or other people are going to receive 2 ballots?
Yeah. Or not receive their ballots and say they got their ballots. So we went to a site to track your ballot. Now yours came up. Came up good. Received
and accepted.
Received and accepted. So I've never requested an early ballot. I always go to the polls to vote. I mean, I've never requested an early ballot. And it says on this ballot thing, this Arizona Voter Information Portal, that a ballot was sent to me
on the 6th
of July. The 6th of July. And I'm not an early voter. And the ballot never showed to my house. I'd like to know where you know what? I know who got my ballot. Walter E. Blackman got my ballot. You know what I'm saying?
And he can't vote because he has a warrant.
He's a criminal. I don't know. He got what the heck is this? Oh, look at me, I can vote.
And I bet you Walter E. Blackman is white.
He probably is. Probably some white dude with my ballot talking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna mess things up in Arizona, But no, really, an early ballot was sent to me. I've never requested an early ballot. I'm not on the early ballot rolls, and I never received that ballot. So, and that's here in Navajo County. So we got to do something about that. Or actually, when you get in there, you need to do something about that.
Well, you know what? Maybe you can answer this for everybody, too. People ask, what's the best way to return your ballot, especially if you voted early? You got the boxes, you got mail, or you can, what's the best way? So
I would say I would fill it out and do like you did. Take it to the ballot box. Take a picture of it. Take a picture of you putting it in there, and then track it. Second thing, to have poll watchers.
Yes, they do.
At these ballot boxes. Third, if you fill your ballot out at home, make sure you seal it up. And then go to the election day, go to the actual place to vote, wherever you're voting at.
Polling place.
The polling place, and give yeah, I know, right? And stick the ballot in the box. Yeah. Take a picture of you at the polling place.
Yes,
that's our go in to vote.
Or the alternative, if you have your early ballot and you're still hanging on to it, you can drive it to the county recorder's office.
You can.
And they will give you a receipt by hand delivering it there.
And I take a picture of that person who got, oh, hold up, we're going to do a selfie. Click, click. And when they got that worried look in the face, then you know something's up. So let me talk about what's actually, and that's actually in here. I got to put my spectacles on. It says, where do you go to vote? Well, there you can go to the AZ Secretary of State website, and you can find out where your polling place is, where you need to vote at. And early voting, some of y'all have already done early voting. The deal is if I voted already, will my vote be counted? Yes.
Supposed to be.
And that's where we had a lot of problems in 2020. But yes, your vote is supposed to be counted. Now, what we've seen from last year and being in the House, what we've seen is that some counties will start to count those votes when they come in. Some counties will wait until Election Day to count those ballots. I think that it should be counted as soon as it gets in and start to tally up, so we can have it consistently across the state. I do know there was legislation proposed with that. I co-sponsored that bill. However, the bill didn't make it out of the House. So, but it should be. Yeah, I know, right? Let me see. I'm voting in person. What do I need to bring to the polling place? Not a dead person. If you show up with a dead person, talk about, he just a little hungover, might be some problem.
We're talking about Bernie.
If you show up with Bernie, somebody should be asking you some questions. So what you're supposed to bring, and I want to make sure I get this right for y'all, and we can do this thing together. You need to bring an ID with an address on it. The ID must match you. So I can see where they could get us confused with an ID, because they get us confused anyway.
Yeah, when we're standing next to one another.
Yeah, but if you a brother and you come in with a ID card from a Caucasian white lady, they might figure you out. You think?
I'm going to stay out of that one.
Bring a current ID. That's what I'm saying. Bring a current ID. You can't bring your school ID when you're 47. You can't do that. It don't count. All right? Oh, this is my high school ID card from 1983. What, dude? Come on. So bring a current ID with your current address on it of where you're supposed to vote. That's what you need to bring to the vote to the polling places. If you don't have an ID, you shouldn't be showing up at the polling place anyway.
Right. You shouldn't be able to vote.
You shouldn't be able to vote. You show up at the polling place, I need to vote. You got an ID? Nope. Oh, come on in then. You can vote. You can do that. You can't do that. Uh-oh. She got that mean look. You in trouble, ain't you?
Oh, you in trouble.
We got 2 minutes.
We got 2 minutes. Close it out, bro.
You want me to close it out?
Close
Okay.
it out.
All right.
Anything else you want to add before we close it out?
Yeah, just real quick. I think we already know that. Okay, so if you still don't know who you're going to vote for, don't know who the candidates are, you can go to the Secretary website. You can go to the portal, candidate portal, and it'll come up every candidate in Arizona from the federal office, the state offices, to the legislative district offices are on that portal. And they should have a picture, and they should have some sort of bio and their website where you can go to and you can check out who you want to vote for. If you are a Democrat and you are tired of the Democrat Party and you are trying to vote for a Republican candidate, you can't do that in the primary unless you have changed your status to Republican. However, in the general, you can vote for a Republican candidate regardless of what party that you're associated in. So,
real quick, you have Walt Blackman here. He's running for CD2. Dave Marshall, I'm running for Legislative District 7. And if you've already voted for us, I would ask you to contact your friends, your family, and your neighbor, and share what you know about us and encourage them to go out and vote for us well.
Exactly.
We will be your voice in rural Arizona, and we will fight for our state, because we are from rural Arizona.
Yeah, we actually live here. We
Yes.
don't live in Scottsdale
Or Tucson.
or Maine.
Well, I want to live in Maine.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be running for office here. I do think they got a legislative body and seats up there in Maine. So we both have our websites. Go to Dave's website, pass it around. Go to my website, pass it around. You want to give them your website?
My website is www.marshall.republican.
Really?
That's it.
It says that?
That's it. But it's also www.azgop.republican
Oh,
too.
yeah.
I have two of them.
You got two of them. Okay.
I have two of them.
Well, mine just go to www.blackmanforcongress.com, and you can look at our information. There's the voter guide that's out. Talk to people. Just get the word out. But most importantly, go to the polls and vote. If you know somebody who needs a ride, take them to the polls. If you want to carpool with people, take them to the heck, give me a call, and we will find a way for you to get to the polls, because it's important that we do this, that we get to the polls, vote for good people.
And we don't want to hear, well, it's not going to make a difference.
Don't say that.
Your vote will make a difference.
Yes.
Because if you don't vote and we lose this.
Really quick, go into that a little bit more. Mr. Beard, I'm sorry. Yeah, we are kidding you. But not. No, go into that, because I hear that a lot.
Yeah, but you think about it. If you don't vote, that's one less conservative vote that we're giving to the other side. You have to vote. If you're happy with the state of affairs in the United States right now, you're happy with the gas prices, you're happy with your grocery prices, your utility prices, well, don't vote. But if you want to change, you must go vote, and that there is a red wave coming.
Yeah, but don't complain.
Yeah, if you don't vote, don't complain. Don't say a word.
Yeah, don't say nothing. Don't send emails to Dave at the State House. Nah.
Yeah. There's going to be sensors on the phones when you call the State House. It's going to say, did not vote. We don't have to hang up.
because really that's what it is. When you don't vote, you're not exercising your voice.
No.
And it just isn't for the election day. You don't vote, it's the whole time that these people are in office. You have no voice at all. So don't complain.
Your vote will preserve and save our nation,
our republic,
and our state.
Yeah. It's up to you.
We need your vote. We need you to get out there and vote. We need you to encourage your family and friends and your neighbors. This is probably, and I don't know if you believe me or not, but this is probably the most important election in our lifetime.
It is. It is, because if we don't win this one, we don't win back the House, we lose numbers down there in Phoenix. You know that the Democrats are going to push two bills that are going to drastically change our country from the federal level. One is H.R. 1 to federalize elections, and the other is to make states take abortion cases and federalize that into federal law so people cannot have those consequences. That is coming if we do not vote.
That's right.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. And so it is. It's very, very important.
Okay. It's up to you now. They got the ball. August 2nd. Polls open up at 6 a.m. They close at 7 p.m. Find your poll. Get involved. You still got 8 days. Do your homework.
Yes. Just vote, please. We need to save our republic.
All right.
God bless you.
God bless you. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time on the America First Brothers.